Today, folks, I have travelled down to the east of Devon, not far over the border from Dorset, and I'm in the sleepy looking little town of Colyton. Wasn't always this way apparently though. Back in the 17th century, this was known as the most rebellious town in Devon due to the sheer number of local inhabitants who joined up with the Monmouth Rebellion in 1685, which I think was to overthrow King James II, perhaps? About that sort of time, I reckon. Anyway, doesn't seem too rebellious around here at the moment, to be honest with you. Although there is a guy on a sign here with a pike, so I better not do too much to upset the locals today, that's for sure. Why am I here? Behind me here is the Colcombe Castle Hotel. Within that is a fairly new restaurant, and it's actually named after 1685, the year of that Monmouth Rebellion. I've been reading some good things about this place in the local press down here, and I really want to try it out. It's kind of like a fine dining concept, but at reasonable prices. Lunchtime you can get a 3-course meal for £32.50. Apparently here they focus a lot on regional and seasonal ingredients. I'm filming this sort of autumn time going towards winter. Anyone who's using seasonal ingredients then is going to be going heavy on mushrooms, aren't they? So I've got to look out. Hopefully there'll be some dishes here that aren't too heavy on the mushrooms. We shall see. But I'm excited to try it out. Let's get inside and find out what's going on. So folks, I have come into the restaurant area and been seated, and I've got to say, it's a lovely looking room. It really is. Very, very stylishly designed. Great looking table settings here, and very, very friendly people so far. So yeah, first impressions, very, very good. I have the lunchtime menu here. So we have a 2-course lunch at £25, 3 courses, £32.50. And there's a nice range of options on here. Sometimes when you go for a set menu, you might even get a sort of menu du jour, and you only get 1 option of everything. Sometimes 2 or 3 here. You've got 4 options of starters, 4 options of mains, and 4 options of desserts. Now, some of them do come with a supplement. That is not unusual, is it? That's just in case you want to elevate your experience a little bit more. So, for example, on the starter menu here, there is a scallop dish. That has got a supplement on there. But you expect that with a quality product like scallops, don't you? Similarly, on the mains, there is a venison dish, which has a £12 supplement. That's got mushroom on it though, so we won't be going for that. Talking of mushrooms, looking through the mains, there are 2 options here which have mushroom on. We've got the venison dish there, and there is also a salt-baked celeriac, which has got hen of the woods mushroom on there. So I'm going to avoid those. But there's a chicken breast with confit leg, butternut squash and fermented plum, which sounds pretty interesting. Or you kind of get, it's called what the boat brought in. So it's a sort of daily changing fish option today. John Dory. Doesn't sound bad. So a romesco, pak choy, leek and a shellfish sauce. Sounds all right, does that? Lots of good options here. I mean, mushrooms aside, I could eat pretty much anything off of here, I reckon. So, I'm going to have a little think about what I want. I've got some water here. Got some nice coloured glasses here. Almost sort of Scandinavian looking, isn't it? I'm going to sit back, have a little think what I want to get, and then come back when we've got an order to talk about. I'm thinking the Mallard breast as a starter.
No.
Good option?
Brilliant option.
Yeah?
It's just come on the lunch menu as well.
Has it?
It has.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. I mean, any of those starters sound brilliant, to be honest with you. On the mains, the John Dory. I think we'll go with that. Yeah. Sounds very, very good. And then we'll think about the dessert at the end. So there we are, folks. Order in. It was a tough decision on the starters. The Mallard breast with turnip, blueberry and Parma ham is what I've gone for. But the Devon smoked eel sounded really good. And beetroots as well. I love beetroot. The elderflower, gingerbread and tarragon sounds really interesting. The mains, I went for that John Dory dish. Again, just sounds up my strasse. That really does. But the chicken breast with the confit leg, butternut squash and fermented plum also sounds pretty good. But I'm thinking my dessert might contain some plum. So I decided to forego chicken and we'll go for the dessert that's got a bit of plum with it. I'm excited to try this food. The menu reads beautifully. The room is really nice. The service is good so far. Happy Greeno. Well, this is a nice little touch. While my starter is off being prepared, I've been brought this little kind of pre-starter. We have a basil pesto-y kind of viennoiserie. It's got lamination on it, kind of like a croissant really. And it's served with nice salted butter too. So we're going to give this a try. Nice crisp to the outside of it. Looks pretty good to me. We get a little bit of this salted butter. It's got salt flakes over the top of it. Oh, smells great. That's delicious. Such a lovely crisp. So now, what is it, pastry I suppose you'd call it? And then as you get inside to it, in the middle, you've got these pesto-y flavours in there. With all the herbs and everything. That's a nice little touch to start the meal. It's a lovely, lovely flavour. I like that. It's not mentioned on the menu, so I'm assuming everyone gets it. Not just a guy who turns up with the camera. I will see. I will keep an eye on what else happens in the restaurant. But for me, that is a delicious little touch. My starter has arrived. The Mallard breast. So this is described on the menu as Mallard with turnip, blueberry and Parma ham. All of which I can see on here. I can also see plums. So maybe I should have gone for the chicken and kept that plum theme going all the way through the meal. But this plate looks pretty as a picture. It really does. The duck looks cooked beautifully. Still nice and pink in the middle. And all these other little elements on here. The crispy Parma ham. The turnips could have been sort of shaved and rolled. It looks beautiful. It looks really refined, you know? Anyway, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Or the proof of the starter is in the eating in this case. So let's go with this duck first. So we've got a couple of sauces on the plate underneath it too. One of which looks sort of like a sort of green herb oil. And we appear to have some nuts on the top. I'm going to guess they're sort of hazelnuts or something like that. Very autumnal as well. It is an autumnal feeling dish, this. With the duck. Come on. That's absolutely delicious. The duck breast here is really quite firm. Lovely meaty texture. And we've got the crunch on the top of it there. Blueberries in there just give a little pop of freshness as well. Got this turnip here. Again, interesting texture to it. And same goes for that incredibly crispy Parma ham. So what you're dealing with here, it's not just great flavours. And the sauce underneath is knockout as well. But you've also got textures that have been well thought out. So each mouthful gives you something slightly different. Whether it's that sort of almost salty crispiness from that Parma ham, a little bit of fruitiness, the freshness of that turnip. Love it. A lot of places you go when the food just looks really pretty. It's more about the design of the plate, how it looks. This isn't. Everything is on here for a reason. Not just to look nice, but to add something to the dish. It's a very, very clever plate of food. So as I'm making my way through this, I'm making all sorts of discoveries. The things that on first impression look like plums are actually different kinds of turnip. It's turnip treated different ways. Absolutely great. And the kind of crumb thing on top of here actually has a load of different seeds in it as well. So they're giving you little flavours, little textures. Wow. It's yummy. While I'm sat here in between courses, just having a quick catch up on the comments section. Almost all of you commenting positively these days, which is nice. You still get a few that aren't so great. But yeah, I really want to say thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you that kind of joins in the conversation on the channel. It's always really good to hear your opinions, your thoughts on the places I've been, whether you've been there or not, whether you plan to visit afterwards or not. Oh, and don't forget, always like and subscribe. And if you've got the option, if you're on a mobile device like this and you're watching, you can click that hype button. That helps promote the video somehow through the YouTube algorithm, I guess. I don't really know. But if you can do it, I'm sure it's helpful. Thanks. Another exceptional looking plate of food has been placed in front of me. This looks great. I mean, if this was in a Michelin-starred kind of restaurant, it would not look out of place. On here, the main dish, we have the John Dory fillet there. We have a scallop on the plate too. Nice. And then different kind of flavours and textures of leek. There's a braised leek, there's a charred leek, some little crispy leeks on the top here. And then we've got the romesco sauce and then a bunch of herb oils and that kind of stuff. To go with that is the potato element. We have a kind of potato cake here with parmesan and truffle. I knew I wouldn't completely escape the mushrooms. And a little veggie side here as well. In fact, I'm going to try these vegetables first because I think they're the thing that probably will go cold fastest. Plenty of butter on there. That's always a good sign. Really tasty, almost kind of sweet and nutty crumb on the top there. And this veg, it's very kind of kale-like, iron-rich. It's got a great flavour. Lightly cooked, so it's still got a little bit of crunch to it. I like that. While I'm talking about the sides, let's give this little potato cake a little try. Move that out to the side for a moment. So we've got a dusting of parmesan over the top of here. Beautiful crispy golden crumb on the outside of it. And see how it looks in the middle. Cuts through very, very nicely. And there, I don't know if you can see that. Just a nice little potato cake there, steaming hot. And it doesn't look like there's a huge amount of truffle in there. I can't see it. So maybe there's some truffle oil or something in the potato. Let's try. That contrast again in textures. Sort of creamy, fluffy mashed potato in the middle. A crispy outside. Unfortunately, picking up very, very little in the way of truffle flavour, which for me is absolutely perfect. I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. This is a very, very smart looking plate of food. Look at that. Nice plate that it's on. Very well presented. Colours are in there. We're kind of oranges and browns, so it looks autumnal. I'm excited to try it. I'm going to go with some of these leaky elements first. So what's this? This is kind of like a cheesy leek, but without the cheese, just a cream leek. That's got a great flavour. I really like leeks. Some of you know I'm a bit funny about sort of raw onions and stuff like that. Cooked onions, fine. Leeks are great because it's kind of a mild oniony flavour, but they're so versatile. There's all sorts of things you can do with them. Like, we quite often have cheesy leeks on a roast dinner rather than cauliflower cheese or broccoli or whatever like that. It's just great. This other leek here, with the charring on the outside of it. It gives you that little burnt, almost bitter taste. And then the sweetness of that poached leek within comes through. It's knockout. Absolutely knockout. When you go for a set lunch, you kind of have to set your expectations accordingly, don't you? Because you're kind of expecting not to get the full show of what you get if you went on an evening or a weekend. The evening menu here, I think, is £60 for 3 courses, as opposed to £32.50. But here, the attention to detail that's being paid to all of these elements is just breathtaking. Absolutely brilliant. Let's try this fish again. Lovely and firm. It's meaty. It's seasoned excellently. Let's try and get it with a bit of everything that's going on here. Some of the different leek elements. Sauce down the bottom. God, easier said than done. that shellfish sauce on the bottom of the plate there. Wow, there's a real intensity to that. And this fish is so lovely and firm. Let's get into the romesco as well here. That little try. And again, we've got a little crumb on the top. Going to add flavour, going to add texture. It's all being thought about here. Beautiful crunch. Romesco, very nicely made, nice and smooth. Love it. One last thing to try. We're going for the scallop. See how easily that cuts? Lovely and translucent there. Just cooked. Come on. I'll try it first by itself. Sweet. Nice little, almost crust from the cookery. And I'm going to dip this into that shellfish sauce now. That's the flavour bomb right there. This is just great. Right, I'm going to enjoy this. And then I've got a decision to make about dessert. It's dessert time. And I've gone for the Earl Grey parfait. You know, I like a cup of tea. Well, I'm having tea and me dessert today. This comes with plum sorbet. We've got a little biscuit on the top there. Little plum and orange gels dotted around as well. And a crumb. I mean, it's just incredible. The food this pretty is available on this set lunch menu. £32.50. But let's just move that off the top of there for now. I want to try this parfait by itself first. That tastes beautiful. That floral note that you get with the bergamot in Earl Grey tea really shines through there. Let's get some of this plum sorbet. I'm making a right pig's ear of this plate, aren't I? Sweet, nice little bit of sharpness behind it, and a very, very intense plum flavour. I'm going to pick the biscuit up and eat it like that. Some candied peel on there too. And a great little biscuit as well. Not as crispy as like a cracker, but oh yeah. Let's get a little bit of everything. Let's get the parfait, some of that candied peel, a little bit of this sorbet as well, and plonk a bit of the biscuit on the top. That is a mouthful, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. It's light enough, but it also feels autumnal. You know, when you move into autumn, you start thinking about heavier puddings, don't you? You get into crumbles and sponge puddings and that sort of thing. This is kind of like a halfway house between sort of summer and autumn, really. You've got cold elements in here that are light and refreshing, but with some autumnal flavours in it. The chef here, a guy named Chris, and he's worked under people like Michael Caines, all sorts of smart places around the southwest. I just want to come around my house, cook my dinner every day. Told you guys there was a bloke with a pike kicking around, didn't I? I didn't spot any rebels around inside the hotel or the restaurant there. Why would anyone want to rebel against food that good? Let me tell you, I've been fortunate to eat in some really smart restaurants during the course of my journey on this YouTube channel. And I've paid some serious money for some food at times. This is right up there with the best of them. And it was a set menu for £32.50. Incredible. There was a service charge on the bill, 10%, so I've paid £35.75 for that lunch. I did only have tap water because I'm driving, but they got a really nice bar in there with some proper real ales, if that's your thing. Smart looking wine list, really, really good. The food though was the absolute star. Great room, great service, and knockout food. Absolutely knockout. That duck starter, So many different textures and flavours on there. Really autumnal dish, but not heavy. Sensational. The John Dory dish, the main course, and all those variations of leek, a little bit of bok choy, the scallop and that shellfish sauce. I mean, you've got a set menu here with a really good fish and a scallop on the plate. Insane. And then the dessert, that Earl Grey parfait with the plum sorbet on, the little biscuit with the little orange gel, and oh, again, a knockout dish. I'm so pleased I came to try this out. Now, full disclosure here. Chris, the head chef here, actually reached out to me on Instagram and said, just set up a new restaurant. We'd love it if you came and reviewed it. Now, 9 times out of 10, more than 9 times out of 10, that people do that, I have a look online, and they're not the kind of place that I really want to bring you. I had a look, read a little bit about the chef here, and thought, do you know what? This place might just be interesting. So I've come down, tried it out, paid my bill. You can see the receipt here, folks. There it is. And I tell you what, I'm so pleased I did. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I tell you what, if you're watching this and you work for the Michelin Guide, get yourselves down here. The Colcombe Castle Hotel, the 1685 restaurant. You're going to find yourself another place to put on your list. I'm telling you, it's that good. It really is. Wow. I'm almost speechless. Not quite, you know me. But there we are. Yeah, I'm going to give it a score. I mean, it can't be anything less than a 5 out of 5. It's a 5+. That price, that kind of food, is just out of this world. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, 5+. Greeno's green light, of course it is. Come on. There you are. I'll keep you happy, mate. You put your pike away. Don't stick out in me. Oh, what a day. Absolutely superb. Right. Where are you going to find me next, folks? I don't know. But it's going to have to go some way to beat this. This was right up my Strasse. It really was. I'll see you next time, folks. Well, I won't see you, though. Bye for now.